The genre of horror is probably one of the biggest genres in history, especially for the gaming community. We all love to watch our favorite YouTubers and gamers like the lovely Marky Moo. When he plays genre of horror, it just makes for a good time with him getting scared, cracking jokes, and us getting scared too, but also being able to sit back and laugh at those moments when they are scared out of their pants. But there is more to horror than meets the eye. Now, I haven't played too many horror games in my life, but I definitely want to play more after experiencing the likes of Slender, FNAF, Resident Evil 2, and now Theevilwithin. And that's what game we'll be exploring in today's episode of The Nerd Talk. Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Nerd Talk. I am super excited to be back at it, and I finally am going to crack down hard on it. I'm going to do my best to get an episode out of The Nerd Talk video games each week on Mondays, uploaded at 8 a.m. Central Daylight Time. I still do want to do other topics, I just haven't decided what to talk about yet with them or when to do them, so for now, I'll be doing weekly The Nerd Talk video game episodes. This being said, I want to know what you all want to see, so if you enjoy this episode, please, in the comments, let me know what games you guys want to see. Now let's hop back into the episode. It isn't what you see, but what you can't see. It's the suggestion. The subtle teasing of the subconscious, the lonely creaking of the floorboard resonating throughout an empty hallway, the slow advance around the corner, the swelling sense of dread as the ever-present evil looms near, refuse to reveal itself. Fear is not an adrenaline rush. It's that helpless feeling of being alone in the dark. This quote was stated in a blog about the genre of horror, and it is very true. There's something about horror that just makes you so uncomfortable and helpless. It almost seems like none of us want that, but yet at the same time, we can't get enough when it comes to horror movies or games. The Theevilwithin is for sure one of those games that meets all of these, a third-person survival action horror game, and honestly one of the best horror games I have ever played for sure. I really enjoyed the scares and the action. One of the best things for me was the screen. How it was a widescreen, making it look like a movie. It really added to the experience for me, and I definitely want to see more horror games with this style. The Theevilwithin has many things you'll encounter, such as detectives, guns, zombie-like creatures, brains, all the drugs, matches to burn shit up, green goop that levels you up, giant lady who doesn't like fire, giant hammer dude who looks like a rip-off of Pyramid Head but with a safe for a head instead, the best boy Leslie who likes to say all sorts of things and repeat them, and death. Lots and lots of death.
This is my favorite part.
I kid you not, I thought this wouldn't be so bad on normal difficulty, but you have such limited ammo sometimes and you just get screwed over, and some of the bosses just insta-kill you when they hit you. It was insane, especially this part at the end of the game, when you're in arena style and have to fight off a ton of infected, and it took me over 2 hours to get through because I was so limited on ammo at this point. Anyway, let's go on to the story of this game. So, the story is definitely an interesting one for sure. You play as Detective Sebastian Calistones, who's also going after a serial killer with his partner Joseph and Kidman. They arrive at the hospital where there have been a ton of deaths, and when they enter, there are people dead everywhere. It's not pretty. Sebastian goes over to the security cameras and sees 3 officers running away and shooting something, a man who moves with the speed of light, and he kills them. Then he appears behind Sebastian and stabs him.
What the hell?
Sebastian then wakes up and is captured and has to escape from this ugly dude who has a chainsaw, and I tell you, he is scary to avoid. Anyway, he finally gets away and escapes with a random cop and a random doctor and a patient named Leslie, who is mentally sick and likes to repeat things.
Just a few bumps, we're fine. Fine.
We will be once we're far away.
As you escape, the city is falling apart and you crash. Next thing you know, there's zombie-like creatures all over and everything doesn't seem like what it seems. As you go on, you start to experience weird things, like this random hospital ward that you wake up in that is like the hub world. More on that later. And you'll be walking along and then bam, you're in a new area facing new creatures. It turns out this is all a world of science. The doctor and the main villain worked out to connect brains, and it creates a new world in a sense. And the villain, Ruvik, is the only one who can alter whatever he wants, because it's his brain everyone is connected to. And this seems really cool in a way besides the horror aspect and death around every corner. The only thing I don't understand is the way you enter this world. A bathtub. Almost like those pods from the Matrix. I'm not too sure why it's that way, but it is. But you learn as well, Leslie has been there before and he survived, and you have moments where he almost seems normal, but only for a split second. So you go on, and finally put a stop to it all and kill Ruvik and ending the nightmare. Or did you? But that's just the gist of the story, and it is really a fun story. I really enjoyed it, even if I didn't understand everything at first and still don't. There's a lot that is just so hard to wrap around just because you don't get a ton of stories to everything that's going on. Even when it gives you at times with tapes and you can find, and also the main story itself where there's parts where it's supposed to tell you, it's just hard to fully understand what is going on. It's almost like they were just like, hey, I has idea, brains and world, bam, done. Oh no, it didn't work. But besides that, it's a really good story and plenty of scares. But let's talk gameplay. So this game seems to play a lot like the other Resident Evils along with Resident Evil 4. The biggest thing that threw me off was the first 2 to 3 chapters. You're definitely wanting to be stealthy if you can, especially because you are very limited on ammo and so you don't want to get in the fights at that point. Now me, I used to not care for stealth that much, but now I really enjoy stealth at times, and so it threw me off that the further you go, the more intense it gets in the action, and you have like 3 big moments where you have to do a huge fight against the infected, especially this part at the end where you enter an arena-like area. It was intense, but the downside of this is you barely have any ammo. And if you run out, you better pray you can find something or parts to build boats for your crossbow. If not, you're dead. Now then, you kill an enemy or at least knock them down, and you can burn them with matches to burn them. And if enemies are near them or coming after you, you can kill them with the matches because it will cause a chain reaction and they will burn along with the fallen enemy. This is a good mechanic as it allows you to save a bullet or two, as long as it works out and you pull it off. Now when it comes to the bosses, this was really fun, because every boss is different in how you need to fight them. It may start with them chasing you for a while and then getting away until you get to the boss arena and needing to fight them, like Chainsaw Boy here. He's the first boss you see. He chases you in the hospital and then he is in town, and you need to take him out to get his chainsaw. Then you fight this bitch, who was no cakewalk at first. And she can only be harmed by fire, so you need to use these barrels and fire pits to kill her in the first time. Then the second time you need to use pipes and shoot their handles to set her on fire. And she still doesn't die, but you do chop her hands off with an elevator, which was fun. And there are other bosses, though the scariest one was definitely the one you needed to set fire to. There's also this dude who looks like a rip off a Pyramid Head with a safe for a head. Instead, the thing is, he doesn't really die. Instead, when you kill him, if there are any safes around, he can respawn in those and come after you. This boss fight was intense for the fact that you need to turn valves to escape and turn off the poison gas that you're trapped in, and it is terrifying to try and turn them. And he just appears, especially on this third one, since he breaks it and you need to grab another wheel and kill him and put it on there, and as you turn it, he just appears out of the corner like fucking Houdini. All in all, it's a good time. You also have this green gel that you can pick up all over the place to upgrade your character, like your health, weapons, and sprint. And believe me, you want to upgrade that sprint to at least level 2, because it is shit. Like Sebastian, when he just going through areas, can barely sprint at all. And if it drains completely, you need to stop and catch your breath, and this is not good if you're being chased, and it's not just normal enemies, even bosses can drain it when they are chasing you before the arena fight. There are a few moments when you get to sprint all you want since it's a scripted sequence, but still, it would be nice to sprint longer from the start, but nah, you can't. You also have healing items. You can find syringes that fill a little of your health, and you can upgrade them to do more damage, but I never had a reason to. You find enough as it is as long as you avoid most enemies in the fight. You'll be okay and use them only when absolutely needed. Also, you can find medkits that increase your overall health, but it has side effects that make it look like you're on all the drugs and you can't move. So don't use that around enemies unless you're into that, I guess. Though the medkits are really rare. I only found 2 for me. So it's easier to just upgrade your health with the green gel to at least level 2 or 3, and you should be good. That's how it was for me anyways. All in all, Theevilwithin is a fantastic game that has plenty of scares and a fantastic story that I really enjoyed. So I officially give this game a rating of 9 on the Spidey scale. Ayo, what is up guys, Spidey2000 here, and before the video actually ends, I just want to come back and say that I'm super excited to be back on this. I do definitely want to do this weekly and keep working on games. It's going to be a little tedious maybe just because, you know, having to beat a game every week. But I definitely do want to see what you guys want to see, so in the comments be sure to let me know what games you want to see. The only thing is, if you want to see certain games, we're going to need patrons probably to be able to do that so I can be able to afford them, because I'm not working right now. I'm doing schooling and all that. I mean, I might be able to start working while I'm in school, but definitely if you want to support the channel and all that and want to see different games, we're going to need that. I'm also going to be doing this thing where I'm going to take the footage from each Nerd Talk episode and putting the footage, I think maybe either on this channel or the separate channel, I'm not too sure yet, but it's going to be there, the full playthrough, no commentary. Maybe some will have commentary depending. And I'm going to start doing Let's Plays again too. I'll probably be doing some Let's Plays on some games that'll be in future Nerd Talk videos, but just to be able to play them and have the experience with them, and so I can upload stuff and try and do Let's Plays daily. But I'm going to definitely do the Nerd Talk stuff weekly. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super excited to be doing this, and like I said, if you guys want to see other games, let me know what you want to see, because I want to be able to give what you guys want. Also, if anyone is interested, if you're watching this, hit me up if you are interested in maybe writing or editing or something like that, because I could really use some help. And if anyone is interested at all, I would love to have some help with this stuff, especially maybe when it comes to writing, because I like writing. It's just that I don't know exactly what all to say sometimes to make it not super long, but longer than just a few minutes at a time sometimes. I try my best, and it might just be also how I talk too. I talk really fast sometimes. But nonetheless, hope you guys enjoyed this one. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Let's keep growing this community, and I'll see you guys here in the next one. Thanks so much for watching.
Kiss your head when you cried for me. Hold your hand while the pain was over.